My name is Bill Nicholson. I'm the General Manager at Timberline Tool in the United States. Today we're going to give you a demonstration of what we call our ExPERT tool, which is a polyethylene pipe permanent repair tool. On behalf of Ken and Janine Green, the owners of Timberline Tool, and all of our employees, we truly hope during this pandemic that you and your families are safe, healthy, and getting some normalcy back to your life. I want to introduce you to the main components of the ExPERT kit. This is the mechanical tool that applies the repair sleeve around the polyethylene pipe. It applies 50 pounds of PSI to the repair sleeve. In front of it here, we have our extension handles. We have 3 extensions that allow you to get down inside the trench, and then we have a ratchet to take on and off the mechanical tool itself. You'll notice on this guy, it's missing the nylon insert. Here's the nylon inserts. There's 3 nylon inserts per kit, and that is to accommodate 3 different pipe sizes as deemed necessary. The 3rd nylon insert is in our demonstration tool that I've already showed you. This is our multi-layer polyethylene repair sleeve and the Timberline Tool solution. When we actually add the solution to our repair sleeve, that starts the process of the thermochemical bond. This is the chemical aspect. This is non-carcinogenic. I'm going to put on rubber gloves when I apply it just for protection. Later in the demonstration, I'm going to fill the sleeve with our solution, and that again starts that thermochemical process going. Moving on around here, this is the power supply we're going to use. This is a rechargeable lithium battery. With a full charge, we can get 3 sleeves out of this before it needs recharged. This is the control box. This will monitor the heating cycle. It will give you status of the different stages that we're in. When applying the input current, it appropriately will adjust to that current, whether it be from a 110, a 220, your generator, a rechargeable lithium battery. During the actual sleeve application, this goes through and does a recalibration every 5 minutes to make sure that it's applying the appropriate amount of energy to the heating source to control that temperature through the application process. So what we have here is a 4-inch IPS 11.5 DR medium density polyethylene pipe. What we've done is we have put a 13 millimeter hole that we're going to put our sleeve around and properly repair. What we're going to do now is we're going to prepare our repair sleeve with the Timberline Tool solution. But before we do that, let's put on the proper PPE. In every kit, you guys will get 1 set of gloves, and then I'm going to put on my safety glasses as well. Safety first. So now we're going to fill our polyethylene sleeve with our solution. So I'm going to attach the syringe, open the valve. I'm going to inject about 50% of the solution. And what you need to do is I'm going to kind of rock it one direction. What we need to do is we need to properly wet or fully saturate the polyethylene foam, which is the white material. And then when I have that, I'm going to tip it this direction, and I'm going to go ahead and add the remaining 50 milliliters of solution. It's the 100 milliliters solution total. It's critical that we allow the polyethylene foam to properly saturate. So I'm going to close the valve. I'm going to remove the syringe. It's important that the sleeves sit in this orientation for approximately 5 minutes. This allows the bottom half of the polyethylene foam to properly be saturated with the solution. Once it sits here for 5 minutes, we'll turn this over so it properly saturates the bottom portion of the sleeve prior to the application. This is a polyethylene film. The only purpose of the polyethylene film, it's a wear surface. It's a slick surface that allows the sleeve to slide around the pipe without any resistance. As I lift the sleeve up, you can see how the solution is starting to wet or saturate. This is what we need to get a proper bond when we apply it to our pipe. All you need to do is turn it over and let it sit in this orientation for, again, roughly 5 minutes to properly saturate now this portion of the sleeve. Let's go ahead and set up our tool. I'm going to add 1 extension handle on so I can lift this over the damaged pipe. The ratchet that we're going to be using is marked with an on or an off. So we're going to put the tool on. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. And then what I want to do is go ahead and fire up the control box. When I apply power to the control box, it's going to go through a continuity check, and you'll see the lights. It's going to go through its check, and it's going to determine if there's any faults in the system or not. Now that the umbilical cord is properly attached to the control box and the mechanical tool, we're going to go ahead and turn on our lithium battery, which applies power to the control box. You'll see the lights go through a series of flashing. That's the continuity test that the control box is doing to make sure all connections are still proper. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the power on the optional lithium battery. You'll see the system just did its continuity check. You're going to see there's 3 lights that still remain on. The first light says the tool is open, which is accurate. And the next 2 lights, the heater fault and the sensor fault, that is telling us that our repair sleeve has not been attached to our mechanical tool. Once we attach the electrical connection of the repair sleeve to the tool, it'll do a continuity check on the sleeve itself, and then these 2 lights will go out, leaving only this light here saying close the tool, and we're ready to start the process. We need to take our repair sleeve, and we're going to put it inside our mechanical tool. So this tool is designed for also a 6-inch pipe. You don't want to have the jaws of the tool too far open that our 4-inch pipe just falls through. So now that it's centered between our nylon inserts for a 4-inch pipe, all the connections on this whip are intrinsically safe, meaning there will be absolutely no spark during connection or if you have to disconnect it. There's a flat surface that faces outside the tool. So the next step in the process is actually to place the repair sleeve over the damaged area of the pipe. Our control box, the only light that's on that says the tool's open, says it's good to go. So I'm going to put this baby over that 13 millimeter hole that we put in the pipe. The key thing at this step is to make sure the whip is not pinched in the jaws of the tool or beneath the repair sleeve. The position of this whip is perfect, and we're ready to go ahead and close the jaws. The next step in the process is to start to close the jaws. Do it at a controlled pace. Don't get in too big of a hurry, and you'll see the jaws are starting to close below. When it's close to being closed, you'll start feeling some resistance on the ratchet, which means you're pretty close to being done. Keep an eye on your control box. Is this going to tell you when the jaws are properly closed? If you look at your control box now, we see that the red light is off and the flashing green light says we're ready to start the heat cycle. I'm going to fire it up by pushing the green button. Now the ramp heating light is on. This is telling you that the system is now ramping up to our target temperature of 102 degrees Celsius. Once it hits that target temperature of 102 degrees, it's going to go into our soak heating phase. The soak heating phase is going to hold the 102 degrees for 15 minutes. That's where the thermochemical bond starts to happen between the mating surfaces of the sleeve and the outside of the pipe. Once that 15 minutes is completed, this light will go off and the cooling mode kicks on. When the cooling mode is complete, when it reaches its 67 degrees Celsius, the cooling mode light goes off and the cycle complete light turns on, telling us that the sleeve has been properly applied to the damaged pipe, and we can now remove our mechanical tool. Now that we completed the application of our repair sleeve on the pipe, I wanted to show you some cross sections of some other samples we've created. Here is the seam where the repair sleeve came together during the bonding process. I'm also looking at the joint of where our sleeve and the pipe are together. There's no gaps, it's clean, and it's very uniform. On this cross section, it's a cross section of the entire length of our repair sleeve. Again, we're looking, there's no gaps. You can see the wires from our heating source that was embedded inside our sleeve. Again, nice uniform joint throughout the entire bond. That concludes our demonstration of the ExPERT. We look forward to meeting you in person, hopefully later this year, that we can shake your hand, put a name with a face. Thank you for your time. Look forward to meeting you.